All right, we're live.
We're almost live.
We're live here, aren't we?
We are live and ready to rock and roll. There's X going live, getting all these announcements.
Check this out.
All right. It's Friday, my friend. Friday. All right.
Yes, it is. Dave, do you want me to sing a song to them, or are you going to be ready?
Sing us a song. You're the piano man.
No.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the intro to crypto. It's Friday. We are so excited to be with you today. First and foremost, we have to send a big thank you out to Mikey Muscles. I don't know if you can see this shirt right here, how cool this is. There is Mike, there's Dave, and there's Mike, Mario Brothers. And let me just do a little turnaround to see. Can they see this over here?
Yeah.
See the whole thing?
Yeah, they can see it's small though, but
It's
they can.
small. Should we get closer?
Keep
How
going
cool
closer.
is that? How cool is that? We got these beautiful t-shirts made by Mikey Muscles, one of our past guests in the show. Can't wait to get him back on here. Mike, thank you so much for making these beautiful t-shirts for us. So cool. Very, very excited to have it. It is awesome. Friday night, guys, a lot to talk about. And what a crazy week, huh? The crypto market's been like on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching, you're listening, you're paying attention, you know that things have been bananas. We're in the banana zone, and not in the good way banana zone. It's been a roller coaster, but don't freak out. Don't get scared.
Buy. This is the time to buy. Warren Buffett, well, was it Warren Buffett? I forget who it was. They used to say, you want to buy when there's blood in the streets. So the more blood that's in the streets, that's the safest time to buy.
Wasn't that, what was this guy from
Could be wrong.
The Doors? Blood in the streets.
I don't know that. That's
the Doors. I mean, I think if you guys are out there and you know, send a shout out over here. Let us know what exactly song that is from who and what and where, because I'm not good at that. My wife's good at that. She knows songs and words and everything. By the way, big shout out to my wife, Valerie, and my daughter, Drew, and my son, Daniel, who are watching the show. Love when you guys are being a part of this show. It means a lot to us. So a lot been going on. Crypto market's on a roller coaster, but don't freak out, everybody, because this is, as Mike just said, the best time to buy. What's happening right now is these big whales are out there. And what they're doing is they're selling millions. They own like millions and millions of shares of, let's say, XRP. They're selling them because they bought it for basically a lot less. And they're making some money. Then the market drops down. And guess what they do? They come and buy again because that crypto market is going to go bananas in some time. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is a mortgage broker and a realtor talking about crypto and looking to help benefit your lives in the future, to help you have a new and exciting plan, because things are not always so easy. And
I just wanted to go back real quick and say, you were talking about the whales, and I was telling you before, what happens is we have a fear and a greed index that's there. You can actually Google it. I recommend you actually take a look at that.
The fear and greed index.
Fear and greed index. Put it into your search engine or whatever, and put it on your favorites and look it up every now and then. Because if you want to add to the crypto, you want to do it when the fear and greed is lower, ideally, and when it gets higher, that's the time to sell if you were selling. But you can dollar cost average when the fear, when the fear is up and the greed is low. And so it's been relatively high with the greedy. We were around 70, 72 is a number that's on there, and it's getting lower now with that. So that's sort of when you want to start buying again.
We should do a little podcast just in the fear and greed index. Maybe that'd be a good idea to talk
There you
about.
go. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Definitely something to look at, the fear and greed index. Understand what's happening, but again, I'm not one who's selling and buying. I'm buying, and I'm buying, and I'm holding, and I'm holding, and I'm holding. And it's my recommendation to you guys: don't play the crazy game of life any more than you already have to live it. Right? Keep it conservative, make it an investment for your future, and get excited about it. So 98% of the global CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are being built on one technology, the XRP Ledger. Okay, very important to talk about all the time. You don't hear that on the news. Okay, you know that you don't hear it on the news. You do hear it on YouTube. and you go and you follow some of the people we follow, like Mikkel, and you got Crypto Sensei, and you got Jake Claver, and you can talk about Avi Lab and Cheeky Crypto,
And this one came from Apex, right?
this one came from me. Okay, so so why? Because the powers behind the curtains are using smoke and mirrors, buzzwords like fin internet or inter cross-border settlement to cover the truth. Today, we're going to decode it all. So you guys will begin to understand the language that's happening when you hear things and don't understand what they are. The game of language and confusion is by design. Central banks intentionally use vague, technical, and misleading terms to hide what's actually happening. Fin Internet, also known as digital interoperability, atomic settlements, these are all codes for the Ripple tech or its variations. Reason, they don't want mass retail exposure yet. They're buying time to build quietly. These banks are buying millions and millions of XRP while you're sitting on the sidelines not buying because you're thinking maybe it's too high, maybe this is going to drop, yada, yada, yada. And then boom, it's all going to happen at once. This isn't about transparency. It's about keeping the advantage before the world catches up. We talk about that a lot. You know, what you don't see, you don't know. I was talking to a buddy of mine at the gym today, and we were talking about crypto. And I explained to him, he said, how do you know all these things here? Because I don't see it on the news. Recently, MSNBC had been talking about some stuff. So I said, listen, did you watch MSNBC on the news network? They were talking about Ripple, talking about Bitcoin. If you catch that quick 30-second, 1 minute, zinger, but most people don't catch it,
Do you know what they were talking about on CNBC? I'm just curious.
They were talking about what Ripple's going to do and how the massive they were actually talking about Ripple, specifically XRP, which is what Ripple is, right? They were talking about what massive they said a 450% increase between now and the end of the year going to happen with XRP.
Really? Because we've already seen a 550% increase.
And they were talking about that at $3.50. Yeah. So they're basically targeting an XRP by the end of the year at $15. Yes, which is massive. And if you're listening to this and you understand what we're saying and you like what you're hearing, great. Give us a smash. Let's hear from you. Give us some comments. If you don't believe it, you're not interested in it, you think that we're crazy, let us know. We want to hear from you. We've got a lot of people watching all over social media here. Love to see your comments, and we appreciate them every day. CBDCs and XRP Ledger, 98% adoption. The XRP Ledger, XRPL, offers what central banks need: instant settlement, liquidity across borders, regulatory compliance, tokenization, and scalability. Over 130 countries exploring CBDCs, central bank digital currency, and Ripple has active pilots or partnerships with many. Why XRP? It is not proof of work. It's scalable, energy efficient, and legally battle tested. Michael, let's talk about scalability of XRP. Can you give a little on that?
Scalability?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole market, this is exactly what's happening, is that as everything scales up and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're going to see more and more industries coming online, stock market going to be coming online. They're already talking about that now. They're already talking. I watched a video the other day talking about how they want to bring the stock market to 24/7, never closing down, and they'll be using crypto.
And you have the spot XRP, which is soon to come out. I think that one of the reason that I think also the market went down a little bit is because it didn't come out yet. It got delayed again. So one of the reasons why XRP took a little bit of a dive, right, is because everybody's waiting for this spot XRP, and it took a little bit of a dive, and it didn't happen yet. I'm sorry, it didn't happen yet, so it took a little dive. So people got frustrated. Screw it, it's not going to happen. What are they talking about? We're not going to happen. It's XRP's not going to make it. But you know what, guys? That's what they want you to believe. They want you to sell it off. They don't want you to hold it because they're buying it up. You have to understand how much is happening around you. You just don't know it. You just don't know it.
We've been holding these tokens for almost 5 years for me. Almost 5 years.
3 for me.
And because of that, I mean, we've seen these shakeouts so many times. This is what they do. They just keep trying to shake people out. A lot of people got shook out right around the time of the election. They were like, I'm sick of XRP.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right.
And then the thing turns around and goes up 500%.
Let's talk about Dave Portnoy for a second. A big
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Dave Portnoy bought $1 million worth of XRP on Kraken.
Yeah.
And he heard from a friend of his. Maybe you guys heard about this already. He heard on one of his friends sent him a text message who recommended getting into XRP. His friend sent him a text that he wasn't happy with what was happening. So Dave assumes, okay, I guess it's time to sell. He sells and it goes boom from like $2.40 to $3.60. He lost millions. And guys, this is what happens to people, right? You get these things, rumors, right? Rumors go around. If you believe a rumor, you end up usually part of the problem and you end up paying for it. Don't believe the rumors. It is all just to get you to try to cut the fat out.
Yeah.
And to have more available for all the central banks. All right. What is fin internet? A vague term being floated in BIS and IMF papers. BIS and IMF papers.
Bank of International Settlements.
Thank you. And IMF is
International Monetary System.
All right. F. All right. Likely a rebranded term for decentralized payment architecture, very similar to what Ripple and the XRPL provide. The phrase is being used in documents that directly mirror Ripple, okay? Ripple's framework and cross-border liquidity. So again, they're using these words out there that you don't recognize, you don't understand, right? It's all kind of like Oz behind the curtain, what's happening. You know, you have no idea.
Good way to put it.
Destructing the global projects all point to XRP infrastructure. Project Dunbar. You've never heard of this before. Look it up. Project Dunbar. Led by the BIS Innovation Hub and Central Bank of Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Africa. The goal? Multi-CBDC platform. Ripple like real-time FX conversation. Real-time FX conversion. I got to be able to read correctly. My apologies. Outcome, XRP level instant settlements across borders. Okay, Project Dunbar.
So real quick, BIS, Bank of International Settlements. They are the bank of banks. They are the biggest of the biggest because they're basically banking for all the banks around the world. That's what the BIS is.
And if the BIS is involved specifically with Ripple, can you imagine what that means to all the banks around the world that have to have that even flow? ISO 20022. All banks have to be correct and ready for digital payments.
Most are online already.
It's PNC Bank and Coinbase. Did you hear about this one? PNC Bank and Coinbase are now working together to work with cross-border and having the ability to lend out money. There's a lot happening. Look it up, PNC Bank and Coinbase.
See that merger? Do you hear the merger? I hear a merger. I hear banking and crypto. Coinbase and PNC.
All these banks are merging and getting ready and flowing and doing all these things in the background that no one's hearing about. You've got to do your research. Do the research. You're listening to us here. Yep. I'm loving how we're getting. Look how many people are watching this. Okay, it's pretty amazing. Thank you so much for joining and watching us. We love you guys. Let's keep going over here. BIS, Bank of International Settlements, act as the central bank of central banks, launching tech that mirrors the one-chain capabilities on the XRPL, promotes interoperability, liquidity hubs, atomic settlement, all of Ripple's specialties, right? The fastest, the strongest, and the best. Why are all the banks looking at Ripple? Because it saves them money, it saves them time, and now it becomes something that the whole world is going to be using. The question is, have you invested in XRP yet? And if you have, how much have you purchased? Are you putting that extra powder? We call it powder, right? The extra money inside. You're not spending on that extra coffee or that extra dessert or that extra something.
I don't think 10 of them are going to make them a multimillionaire.
That is facts.
You know, and so I think you do need to back up the truck, and you do need to start to acquire, and you can't sit there. I just don't want people to think that they can just buy $10 worth and think that they're going to be a multimillionaire.
Right.
I think that's unrealistic.
It's unrealistic, but you're going to have more than you had before.
No doubt about that.
So here's what happens. You think of something that you're investing in. Is it for the short term or the long term? If you're looking short term, it's going to be a wild ride if you don't suggest it per se. If you think of the long term, you want to pay for your kids' college, you want to be able to buy a house one day, you want to be able to have a life where you can go on vacations whenever you want to. These are the things we're talking about.
Yep.
It's changing your life to making a healthier, easier future financially. That's the way I look at it.
Yep. I was having a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and we were talking about crypto and XRP and so forth. And I said to him that I would feel more comfortable being in XRP than I would be in the US dollar, because they can never create one.
Right.
And I see the value of XRP being far greater than a US dollar.
Well, the US dollar is not increasing in value.
No, it's decreasing.
You're putting the money in the bank. As a matter of fact, you put the money in the bank today, you might be earning 2%, maybe 1 to 2%. On Uphold, one of the different platforms you can use, they're paying you 4.5% to hold your money. 4.5% just to hold it. You don't have to spend any money using your crypto. You can just hold it there, 4.5%. Let's see, Project McBridge, MBRIDG, MBridge. Participants are BIS in China, Hong Kong, UAE, Thailand. Uses are a shared distributed ledger for CBDC transfers. Remember, CBDC, central bank digital currency. These letters and these words, I want to make sure you begin to learn also. I'm learning with you. Trust me, I talk about it, I say it, I remember it, the more I continue to talk about it. Try and make it part of your language every day, and it begins to become more natural to understand things. I always tell my son, if you can use it in a sentence and you can talk about it, what you're listening to, that's when you begin to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but Dave, who are you going to talk to about BIS? You're going to go to work, you're going to have a welder going to work talking to his guy saying, hey, I'm going to talk about the BIS today.
Before I talk about the BIS.
You're going to say BS.
Yeah, right. The first thing we do is we kind of give, hey, are you involved in crypto, right? Are you involved in crypto? Do you invest? And then that conversation opens up.
Right.
It's amazing how when you ask somebody, their eyes kind of light up and their eyes open. And it's either, I've heard about it, but I don't understand it. That's the number one answer. And that's why we do this. Yep. It's for you who don't understand, or you who are beginning to understand, to learn and to understand and to begin to really investigate and learn as much as you can. All right, so project, we just talked about this, I'm sorry. Key focus is FX settlement, programmable payments, Echo's XRP bridge asset capability, Ripple Tech in disguise. Project Agora. Okay, Project Agora. You can look this up. New BIS initiative aims to combine commercial banks, central banks, and tokenized assets. The goal, unified platform for digital money flows. Features, programmability, interoperability. Again, the XRPL is the most advanced solution here. I guess there's a theme here, huh? A little bit of a theme. XRPL, XRP.
No argument.
No argument here. Again, feel free to throw some words, some chats, some conversations. If we miss them now, we'll get back to them later. And here's the one we're going to end with. Project Mariana. It already sounds pretty. Project Mariana. Participants, France, Switzerland, Singapore. Test automated FX markets using DeFi principles. DeFi?
Decentralized finance.
Decentralized finance principles. Includes token swaps using smart contracts. What are smart contracts?
It's a contract that they set up that allows, for example, if you actually had you set up this contract where if something happens, then they will automatically release the money or do whatever. So It's like one contract. So you don't have to sit there and say, hey, I cut your grass. Now can I get my check?
Right.
This is like, hey, I cut your grass, and automatically the check comes in, as an example, as a simple example. But that could be for anything.
That's actually great. That's a great example. Action, and then you have
Automatically.
Right.
Yep.
So, very similar to the XRPL, AMMS proves central banks are exploring DeFi like protocols backed by stable infrastructure like Ripple's. Again, we're talking about something that is so cut and dry. It's all about what you're not hearing today on the news. If you watch, again, Fox News Business has it, MSNBC has it. They have very short blips of it. They will have a couple of guys on there about crypto. I'm just still shocked that they don't have a actual TV channel that is all about crypto 24/7, what's happening in the market, right? Like,
we're waiting for you to create.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I want to be a part of that opportunity. If you're out there and you're thinking the same way I do, we should do this. We should make it happen. 24/7 crypto. Things are happening. Remember, the crypto market is 24/7, 7 days a week. It does not shut off, which is why it's so volatile. You can turn your phone open up your app, and you're going to see things happening. You may not like what you see from moment to moment. Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Buy more.
Buy good blue chip coins. Buy the things that have utility. Utility is the key. If you understand what that means, utility means it has a function and a solution, and things that are being used every day with a function and solution to help make the financial system a better place.
Don't forget your disclaimer, by the way. I just thought of it.
We did in the beginning.
Oh, did you?
But we're going to do it again. Remember, this is not financial advice. These are two guys,
You did.
real estate and mortgage, who want to be here for you to help you explore knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? And by you taking your chance in your life to really give yourself more than you've ever had before, we've all wished we've been there. We always wish someone told us about the opportunity we missed out on. That person who was talking about Bitcoin and you didn't believe when you heard about it, that 15 years ago, someone talked, and you just, I don't get it. I don't understand. That's BS, yada, yada. And today they're gazillionaires. And good for them because they took a chance. This is better than a chance, though. We have the United States government involved in this. This is on headlines every day. This is the Genius Act. This is right happening today in front of your eyes. If you're listening with your ears and looking with your eyes, what's happening, it is happening right now. It is happening right now. The rates are going to come down. The whole market is going to spin. You're going to be saving money on your interest rates. And what's going to happen is, what are you going to do with that money? Are you going to invest it correctly? Or are you going to burn it on something that's no value to you?
Well, you sort of want to be in these investments before they cut the rates, too.
That's a good point. Everything's going to start spinning around.
When it goes, it's going to be too fast. When interest rates cut, that's when all the assets appreciate. You're going to see the stock market going up, most likely. You're going to see crypto going up. And it's all because of the fact of the lower interest rates. It feeds the fire. It is the fire to make all these assets grow.
Which is why they're trying to get these rates to come down. It's going to happen. Just a matter of time. Are you in it before? Are you in it after?
Trump's trying to pull Powell out. He's trying to take him out.
As a matter of fact, I saw him. He did something that was really actually creative. They were in one of the buildings they're working on, and he talked about the rates and how many billions of dollars, and they're short on the billions of dollars that the project they're working on. If anybody saw this, that what just happened. And then he's like, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. And then he pulls out a piece of paper that they just got like that day, showing how many billions of, or how was it, like $1 billion short or whatever it was. Maybe I'm wrong with my numbers, millions or billions of dollars. They're short on this project. And he just had this like perplexed look on his face as to the whole rate cut thing, because they need the money to come back.
Oh, this was because Powell was over budget on a building that the Federal Reserve was building, and yet we don't get a cut.
That's right.
I did know that there was something that was way, and the Fed is blowing money hand over fist.
Michael Cristoforo, David Lamel here, the intro to crypto. Thank you so much for joining us on Friday. We appreciate being a part of your lives. Have an amazing weekend. We will see you Monday with some new and exciting content. Wait till it happens this weekend. Maybe we'll have something special for you. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Do that.